Hi, this is Abby Gatenby, and this is my teaching philosophy. Hi, this is Abby. A quote that really stuck out to me was, "If we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow," by John Dewey. And I think this is important because if we're teaching our students like we did 20, 50, 100 years ago, then they don't have the correct tools in their toolbox to help them in our ever-changing world. I think teaching should be student-centered, and it should prepare our students for real life. I think students need to be engaged and interested in the topics that they're learning. And I also think that we should offer multiple methods of instruction. So our kinesthetic learners can have a more hands-on approach with manipulatives. Our visual and auditory learners can go to a small group mini lesson so they can be really in tune with what the teacher is saying. I think that the important knowledge for our students to have is, of course, the basic core curriculum, reading, writing, math, science, social studies. But I also think it's really important that they are able to think critically and have analyzing skills for later. And so you see that like in a lot of project-based learning, which I will talk about in a second. I plan to assess my students with formative and alternative assessments. So formative, I want informal check-ins throughout the lesson and during independent practice. So I'll either pull them to the small group or pull them to the floor and just check in. And then rather than having all of like the test anxiety that sometimes comes with those big summative tests, I would rather have like a project-based end of the unit option. So they can show me what they learned, but like in a project form. So it's a little bit more fun, a little less stressful. I plan to engage my students. I try to be engaging when I'm talking to students, like during lectures and mini lessons. Just try to be very animated, but a lot of what I hope my classroom to be based around will be project-based learning, or PBL. And so I have two little examples that I'm really excited about, actually. I want to do a class newspaper, and so I want the students to design it and research about the current events that they'll write about. I want them to conduct interviews either with teachers or other community members, and then they will publish and share it with our school community. And then another one is a living museum. And so again, the students will get in groups. They'll choose a topic, research the topic, find those facts, important people, special artifacts. They'll create their exhibit. And so that'll either be like posters or models. They can dress up like the people and they can make little displays and then present that to the other grades in the school and then maybe the parents in the evening. And some ways that I will build a positive learning environment, I really want to build positive relationships. In my classroom, my hope for it, everything's going to come back to a positive relationship between me and the students with each other. So of course, I'll set boundaries and expectations. I know saying that my classroom is going to be very student-centered and student-led, it might seem like it's going to be a little bit crazy, but there will be definite boundaries and the students will know whether, like, they'll try to push them, but there will be a consequence, right? And I want it to be safe and inclusive, and we'll celebrate all sorts of success. So even if it's something really small, we're celebrating it. If it's something really big, we're celebrating it. And then my expectations for myself and my students, accountability, right? I want us to start each day fresh, be aware of our actions and how they affect others, understand that we have bad days and good days, and I will have them, they'll have them. I just want us to be like a little family. And I want them to learn the content, of course, but I also just want to help them become good-hearted, like empathetic, compassionate people.